Do you consider yourself an intelligent person? If so, why aren't you a conspiracy theorist?
Well, this episode is for you.
See, my question is, why not be a conspiracy theorist? If you look at human history, we haven't exactly been the nicest, coolest people to each other, right?
Live and let live out the window.
Out the window. Historically, we've toppled governments, sacrificed children, we've been cannibals, we've enslaved each other, gone to war with each other.
Over power, money,
Resources,
control.
you name it.
That's not very nice.
So, with that being said, why wouldn't you be a conspiracy theorist? Do you think Hitler's the only worst person that you've ever seen in history? You don't think there's another Hitler lurking behind the scenes?
Or a whole group of them.
A whole gang of Hitlers?
Or even worse.
Or even worse, a real world domination.
The Rockefeller's Podcast.
We feel like there's a group of people, we don't know how many, we don't know who they are, we just know they have lots of this, and probably not the nicest people in the world.
I don't know what would be the word, but like, I guess elitist. They feel like they're better than the rest, better than the crowd, better than the masses, perhaps.
Think P. Diddy, but with more money.
Yeah. Yeah, like a larger scale with a larger control and power, I guess. I mean, it all circles down to that because we're nothing to them.
So, again, I'm trying to reel you guys in who think conspiracy theorists are crazy, because let's just look at how we've been lied to recently. I mean, COVID is probably the most recent. We were told in the beginning that it came from a wet market in China from some bat soup.
Can you imagine that? Possible, but I don't know, man. I mean, okay, say it is possible, but I would still want to be like, wait a minute. To me, doesn't sound very, it's just easy. Oh, let's just tell them that.
Yeah, but it wasn't verified.
Right.
And if we're going to go off of science or facts, we never got any of that with COVID. Another one, and again, this goes into war, is Iraq. Saddam Hussein, weapons of mass destruction.
Did you guys ever hear finding them or discovering them or showing them to us?
No, it was admitted that there were none.
There was none.
It was bad information, yet we went through a fucking war, lost all types of lives.
Yep. Leveled cities.
Let's see, what's another one? Hunter Biden laptop.
Whew, that was a good one.
Russian propaganda. It's not real. That's what they told us.
Russia bad. That's all we care about, right? That's enough.
Insert Hunter Biden here with crack cocaine and with the bra.
Yeah.
With the bra on, and he's got the tan marks.
In the White House. Well, I don't know, but maybe that picture was somewhere else. Oh, no, I think it was. Right?
Well, there was a bag of cocaine in the White House during the Biden administration.
How did it get there?
Nobody found out about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But let one of us have a bag of cocaine on the streets and you're out of there.
Years in prison. Even with residue.
The biggest one that in recent times that I think, and it's not even that recent now because kids don't even know about 9/11, but was what tragically happened with Building 7.
Yeah, that was some weird shit, man.
Like,
because it was like blocks away from the two towers, and yet this building still
imploded on itself.
Implodes. For y'all, those who don't know what that means, it means that it's strategically placed so that it goes in instead of just exploding, which can damage surrounding.
Like a controlled demolition, if you will.
Ding, 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 ding.
But we're just asking questions. If that makes us a conspiracy theorist, so be it.
I'll be that.
Be that too. Because, again, we just know we've been lied to as humans by people in power. And the whole point of this video for you non-conspiracy theorists is to realize there is no left and right, Democrat, Republican. It's really us versus them. Mm-hmm. And they like for us to fight each other and argue with each other.
It's good for them.
And call us names. And we just want to wake you up.
Yeah, because I mean, falling for it is, dangerous, and you know, continue because it's been happening for decades, if not centuries now.
Yeah, I mean Epstein. There's another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got charged for trafficking minors, but had no clients. No, none of them got
That shit don't make no
mixed
sense.
up in the whole fucking child trafficking thing.
I know, right? Like, and could it be used for, what do you call it when you like have something on someone?
Leverage.
Yeah, leverage, but
Blackmail?
also blackmail. You know, 'cause that seems to be his business, but you know, no verification, no clarification, no.
And where's Trump during all of this? Where was Biden during all of this? You know, it's two sides to the coin.
Yeah. And how come these people don't get the consequences that we would, you know? Or the, what do you call it, civilians would?
These are things we just want y'all to question more. And, you know, the CIA did a real good job making sure we were caught conspiracy theorists to intentionally label you as crazy.
Yeah, make you look bad.
No different than if you support Trump, you're labeled a Nazi. Because what do you think when you hear Nazi? Evil.
Yeah, right.
Or scum,
Yeah.
you know? And what do we hear in repetition? It's always a Nazi. You're always a Nazi.
Yeah, like
you know?
like the worst thing possible, or like
And if it's not a Nazi, what are you? A racist.
fascist.
Fascist.
Even though that fascist stuff is so confusing because the people calling people fascists are indeed acting in a fascist way. And that is hypocrisy at its best, man.
It's just mind fuckery.
Yeah. But yet, people are still not willing to put the pieces together.
Well, because it's a psychological attack on our brains. I mean, we're going to give y'all, we're not going to go through facts, but we're going to show you stuff like this. Project Mockingbird, documents that were released in 2020 showing the connection of CIA and journalists, and to sing the same song like a mockingbird does. It copies it and it brings out this message that we hear over and over and over again.
So wait, like propaganda? Isn't that what that is?
Quit being a conspiracy theorist, Pablo.
God. Shame on me. No, but it is crazy because back in the day, before the internet, you know, the news anchors would say these headlines, and we wouldn't be able to tell what they said in Miami. We're in Houston. We didn't know what the headlines were in New York, but yet they were very similar and almost to the T, like every single word by word.
First, unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
And just like an anchor man, you know, the anchors were, I guess, like the country's badasses because they were in charge of the information. Mm-hmm. So if there's the slight possibility that these people were coerced or in cahoots with the government, shouldn't that make you question just a little bit more when you get an official narrative and you start to hear the same thing over and over again from different talking heads? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. It's not that we're like confirming that it was wrong or evil or malicious, but it has to spark up a flame or a little red flag. Like, hey, wait a minute. Why are they doing this? Like, what's the purpose behind it? That's it. Because we don't know, but it just doesn't make sense, right? To me, at least.
You know, you see all these protests happen all over the country, mm-hmm. and it seems so organic, but wouldn't it be crazy if these people were paid to do that? Yeah. Like paid protesters? Oh, wait a minute. We have some proof of that. Check this out.
We have two identifiable right-wing journalists here. Please do not engage with them.
Give me one reason I'm right-wing.
I'm not engaging with you. First Amendment
you're telling
right.
all your employees not to film me.
We're gonna marshal I need a couple more people who are trained.
I'm trained. I can do it. You want to give me one? I can do
Yeah,
it.
sure. Just keep an eye. So we have some right-wing journalists here. We're asking people not to engage with them. You do so at your own time.
No, I'm not with Fox. I'm independent.
No, please
I'm
don't
independent.
engage with
Let people talk. Let people talk.
Oh my God, you're Friedman.
What?
You're Friedman.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I seriously.
So what's your thoughts on what's going on here?
Don't engage with them. No. If you're with us, we're gonna. Okay, then please. No. I'll take the sign back. I support you. Okay, then please.
You want people
She won't let me even say one sentence.
So who is this paid protesting leader that wreaks havoc on our cities and will soon have a heated argument with the police? Her name is Jamie Bauer.
Oh, that's
She works
shit.
for Rise
Oh,
and
shit.
Resist,
Holy
just like
crap.
Julie. In fact, you can see them
I
together
was
here
an old man.
with the Karen Kazoo lady. Front and center, Jamie played an integral role in the Tesla takedown protests, referencing Musk's crime spree, whatever that is. Now back again with Karen. Jamie's been protesting in front of Trump Tower for years, and you see Julie right next to her too. This is calculated and the truth is getting out. Here's one of the many issues with Jamie. She works for the MTA, or Metro Transport Authority. She's at more protests than I can count, so is she protesting on the taxpayer's dime? Now, Jamie has an obsession with our children. Here she is holding a sign saying libraries are for everyone, backed by the trans flag, coupled with more photos of her saying more drag and less hate. There are countless books like this that exist in the schools of your children because of people like Jamie.
I've said it before, but this is a great book for introducing small children to the idea of being non-binary.
She does interviews detailing how she doesn't conform to normative gender expressions and details the evolution of her own non-binary trans-masculine identity. You see, Jamie is all about combating fascism and oppression, yet she runs around the protest telling everyone not to speak with an independent reporter. Now, let me be clear, people like Jamie threaten ICE agents by saying, ICE agents, the tide will turn, and simultaneously act as if they have the moral high ground.
No, you have to do better. You have to do better.
So that to me seems a little bit like organized crime.
Yeah.
In terrorist
Or
groups,
chaos.
because it's like if you're protesting, which is one of the constitutional rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not speak on what you're protesting? Why wouldn't you speak your mind, especially if it's someone you think is against what you believe in? When isn't that what it's all about? Convincing one another or expressing your thoughts and
You bring up a great point. Is that the whole point of the First Amendment is to express ideas, to talk about them, to be in a free world where we can agree to disagree and then move forward together because we've heard each other's ideas and we're like, okay, you know what? That made a lot of sense. I might not think 100% the way I did before, and maybe now I'm willing to change this 10%. 15%.
But now you've opened my mind to something else,
right?
Which is a human thing, right? Like
now I'm more lenient on a certain situation that I used to not be on, but now I am, and that's happened with me. I know that's happened with you
for 100%,
and that should happen with the world. But when you're having paid protesters who are there. Because like protesting shouldn't be a job,
right?
And this kid Nate Freeman, he goes and we can show receipts on other videos where he's finding how much these people are getting paid. It's like $80,000 to $100,000 a year.
Wow.
To be a professional protester.
Yeah, to induce hate
and chaos and unrest. Yeah. And destroy peace within our fabric of the country while generating a fake movement. Yeah. And we're falling for it because y'all are not conspiracy theorists. Y'all don't want to question.
So, and all while trying to spread peace, going against peace.
Yeah.
And then again, that's not peaceful. Because we're supposed to disagree, right? Like we're supposed to have different thoughts and different beliefs, but we shouldn't hate each other.
It's more authoritarian.
That's it.
Yeah, we're there the voice, the main idea, and anybody who doesn't believe in it gets crushed. You're the authority.
Shit ain't right, man.
So the whole point is to question everything. Get us out of this paradigm of red versus blue. You know, conservative, liberal, all these little titles. We need to go back to we the people. Because we are, in a perfect world, are supposed to be able to live together with different ideas.
Right.
And you can't be the authoritarian dictating what the ideas should be that we live by. Up to this point, we've all kind of agreed on what a woman is, leave children out of it. I'm going to do me, you do you.
Yeah.
But now we've given so much agency to the government that we're losing power, or we've lost the power. And we're not realizing, thanks to people like Edward Snowden and who's the WikiLeaks guy? Julian Assange.
Yeah, we were just talking about him.
Julian Assange. You know, people don't know that Edward Snowden leaked that the NSA has been spying on us and can spy on us at any given second.
Yeah. In the land of the free. So there's no such thing anymore.
So where are you, non-conspiracy theorists, when you hear things like that? Have you gone to look if that's true or not? There's testimonies all through Congress about this shit. But I'm the weird one, right?
And you don't see any protests over these. You don't see any people, crowds gathering together to protest this, you know? And it's like, why? Why not? Because people don't want to stand up for the right thing, because that's another thing. We agree on what's right, and I think we've fallen as a human people that we used to stand up for the right thing. We used to make, like, no, this shit ain't right. You know, parents will go to schools and say, hey, this is not proper to teach the kids, or like even a society or like a community. Someone stands up for the people, speaking for the people, saying, hey, this is not right. This is affecting us more than it's helping us.
And what happened to those parents? Because they do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were doing that in Florida and other states when they were talking about these books that the LGBT, not everyone wanted to keep in the schools. And, you know, they got targeted by the FBI for actually standing up for themselves. And these three-letter agencies are what we were talking about, because they are ran by the psychopaths of the world, by the secret societies, by the elite, by the deep state. Not everybody in every category is evil, but there is evil in every category.
And I think the mask that they go under is, oh, we're considering everybody, we're being delicate to this specific people, but in reality, they're using it as a weapon. That sexuality is it corrupts the mind. It starts to, how can you say that? Like, how can you explain that? Like, once we get exposed to sexuality, or whether it's a healthy form of sexuality or not, at an age that we shouldn't be, then we change. We go soulless, or our soul gets damaged.
You lose innocence.
That's it. Yeah, there you go.
And perfect. I think that's the biggest gripe on, at least on my side, is it's like, leave the kids out of it.
Yeah, so that's their weapon, you know, because it's like they're acting like we're being sensitive to this specific group of people, but no, we're using it as a weapon to corrupt the young, to make them bad people as adults, or poor in spirit, poor in judgment, poor in, you know, decision making.
I think just poor in what's the word I'm looking for? Not soul, values.
Yeah. Morals.
Because wasn't there a president that was kind of warning us on the secret societies thing?
Funny you say that.
Yeah?
I have just the guy. Check this out.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it.
Damn.
Powerful, man.
John F. Kennedy, man. And he had that speech 2 years before he was assassinated.
Again, standing up for what's right, for what's wrong.
Talking about secret societies. In that little clip, we showed Bohemian Grove, which has been proven, which is a area, elite, bankers, government officials,
political figures,
congregate, have fun, do a little gay shit.
Rituals.
Do some rituals and decide where our world is going to from there. When did I sign up for that as a free person? I never did.
But it's also like very well guarded, and they don't want people to know their location, even though it's been out. But still, they're real protective about that. They deny that some of the stuff that goes on there. That doesn't rise again more questions. More.
Do your research. These people are praying to mosque. Is it mosque? Moloch.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're praying to a deity, Moloch. Like, these things aren't fresh either. These are old, ancient spirits and teachings. Like, if you don't like Christianity, that's on you. That's fine. But believe that these people are practicing shit that you don't even know about. Mm-hmm. And the facts are there to go and look. But don't discredit people who have done some research, who have asked questions.
Who have asked
especially
questions.
Yeah, especially when you haven't, and you're being guided by the manipulation 3-letter agencies that want you to follow the rules, to stay in line, to get your vaccine, to out your friends who aren't wearing their masks,
Yeah, and again, doesn't that lead you to ask even more questions? Like, doesn't this stuff sound suspicious? Like, I mean, I get it. Some of us, or some of the masses might be too heavy for you, and it makes sense. But at least don't get involved if you just rather not. If you want to live underneath that cloak and underneath that shadow and being lied to, that's okay too. But don't get involved in people that are actually bringing awareness or want to spread the truth, because it's like we all are humanity. Like, we're all together, and it affects us all the same.
Yeah. You don't want to be the person defending a murderer because that murderer was nice to you or said something that you agree with.
Or somebody said they were nice.
Yeah. And then when it comes down to it, you know nothing about that person. Like, that's what's wild to me, is that when we confront you non-conspiracy theorists with some facts, with some different angles you've never heard, you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. Or you're the crazy one. They look at you like you're below, and
you're in a cult.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I've actually done my due diligence. I ask the questions. I play both sides. And I see, okay, does that make sense? Okay, that's plausible. Okay, that's plausible too. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of gray. So I can't stand on the subject and die on that hill if I can't even come to a, guilty or not guilty verdict. But some of y'all motherfuckers are just ready to go die on a hill that you know nothing about.
And be so confident about the bullshit you're being fed. I feel like that's embarrassing, because it's like, I'd rather be wrong but be aware that this could be happening than just be like, no, absolutely not. That is not possible. People are not that wicked. They're not that evil or capable of doing such things. But it's also like, we're not the only ones. Like, there's people that are like been truth seekers and have been research deep and dig deep and also gotten themselves offed.
Blowing the whistle. Mm-hmm. I mean, we talked about child sacrifice earlier. It's factual. Back in the old times, that there were Native Americans sacrificing children to the sun god.
Yeah, Aztecs.
Mayas. So let's just put that there. Do you think society has completely left those ideas? I mean, because Christianity has been around for 2,000 years. Muslims have been around. Buddhists have been around. Yeah. So what makes you think Satanists haven't been around, or whatever occult hasn't been around? So use that when you're seeing some of these stories and ask those questions too. Are you part of that group? Are you part of the Christians? Are you part of, whatever? Because you might be following something you really might not be cool with. Mm-hmm. Because let's take the illegal immigration that's been happening in the country. The Biden administration had, 30,000, and that's probably low, unaccompanied minors that they could not account for.
Yeah.
And we have people like, what was her name? Tara Rhodes, who was a whistleblower and she testified under Congress saying, hey, we have lost all these kids and we don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Don't you care about children?
But there's no following of that. There's no follow-up on what happened to them. Are we doing a research? Are we looking for them? Did we find any? Did we find some? And people just let it go.
Yeah. And you just want to attack the surface level argument of, oh, well, no one's an immigrant. Everyone should be let in. But you're not actually getting into the weeds of the argument. And that is, there's so many kids that die at the border by themselves. There's so many kids that get sold into trafficking. There's so many kids who are paid by their parents to the coyote to send them to a family member, but they never fucking make it. Mm-hmm. And they're sold for organs. Yep. They're sex trafficked. They're labor trafficked.
Mules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's fucked up because there's been cases that are official that they, it's hard for me to say, but they cut them out. They unalive them. They cut them open. They stuff them with drugs, get them across, and this is like a normal thing for them.
So we're gonna glorify the cartels because they're good people, because they could care less about the human life. They just want to make the money. So again, it's not a conspiracy theorist idea that people get trafficked. We got Epstein. We got the southern border. We got, people coming in from other countries that who knows what happened to them on the trip over here. And it's happening all over the place. But we just need to open our eyes and ask more questions, because and I think Pablo's point isn't to like ridicule you or belittle you. It's just there's an awakening happening. And the people who are waking up are being ridiculed as conspiracy theorists or cult followers or, oh, you're a Trumper because we agree with one or two things Trump does or 4 or 5 things that Trump does.
Yeah.
But we also disagree with 4 or 5 things Trump does. But that means we're free thinkers. You know?
Absolutely. But nobody pinpoints that. They only pinpoint the negative.
Yeah.
Or what's convenient for their argument.
Or the emotional.
Or the emotional.
Because it doesn't vibe with your surface level knowledge of the situation.
Yeah. I think like people following the crowd is very dangerous, because like this is what's popular now, and I don't want to be on the wrong side because I don't want to be looked at like, oh, you're one of them.
Yeah.
But instead you're standing up for what's right, and it's like people have lost their lives for this.
I'm glad you say that because there's an American actor, Isaac Cappy, who committed suicide after leaking all the atrocities that happen in Hollywood with the trafficking and the ugliness done to little kids. You have the Swedish DJ Avicii, who one of his last videos was about child trafficking and showing, the ugliness of what happens to it.
That's right.
He also committed suicide. We have other stories that I believe Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, who were molested as youths themselves and had, what are they called, where you help people, charities for abused children. They also committed suicide.
Shortly after speaking out, too, because they were starting to wanted to bring some light to that too, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's stories on it, but sometimes that stuff gets scrubbed off the internet. And could they have killed themselves? Were they troubled people?
It's a possibility.
100%.
Yeah.
But again, ask the question. Show me the other facts. Yeah, these dudes dealt with, being SA'd. They dealt with. Let's take Hollywood for example. We just got the P. Diddy stuff coming out with 50 and giving another perspective. Is 50's documentaries the Bible? Are they 100% accurate? I don't know, but what he's showing gives probable cause, and it gives evidence of the contrary of what he says.
Yeah, but also with that one chick, Amanda Bynes, she was an actress, a pretty girl, You know, now
Oh, the Disney girl?
Yeah, I don't know if she was Disney, maybe, but Nickelodeon, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But you know, now she changed her whole like persona, and she looks, you know, I mean, she looks different because it's like I liked her. You know, she was very beautiful, and I you know, I don't know exactly what happened to her, but I think it came out that she was part of that Nickelodeon stuff, you know, and you know, she what do you call it when you like make yourself look ugly, or you change yourself to don't look as beautiful? It's traumatized. You know? But it's like there's plenty of evidence out there, and you know, it's not an easy pill to swallow or easy truth to hear. But why? Why is this such a big happening in our existence? You know, I want to know the truth. You know, I'd rather at least be aware of it.
And if you want to live your life peacefully without dealing with that, we get that. But like he said before, like, don't argue or don't put yourself out and fight a fight for people you know nothing about.
Because if that's the case, you're on their side and you're contributing to their evil and their wickedness.
Just because of the celebrity, you know? Just because
there's someone.
Yeah. I mean,
this world belongs to us all equally. Now, we have to have laws, and we have to have, you know, certain things that keep us civilized and authority, or, you know, but those people in power and in authority should be level-headed, good-hearted people, at least balanced, you know, to be judgment, to have the type of judgment that is fair. And we don't know that's not the society we live in.
No, it's fully corrupted at this point. And we need to realize sooner than later. That's why we're making a more push on these episodes to wake up those that are still woke. You know, woke is past tense. Woke at a time meant awake.
Yeah.
But now, unfortunately, it's turned into something different. And that's okay. It got taken over. You know, it's not the same woke of the 90s. But we have to realize that the power lies within us, our energy, our aura, our beliefs. If the elites realize we're not hip to their psychological warfare anymore, they're going to panic.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do things to let off the chains. Otherwise, there's uproar, there's revolt. And they don't want that because it's really 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah. And they would have to show their true colors if that was the case, because they would have to just murder masses of people just because we're revolting.
And they already have done that, FYI, but they're so good at it because they run the media, they run pharmaceuticals, they run big food, big pharma, all the big companies.
So let me paint a picture. Imagine you are easily deceived, and this media, these actors, these celebrities that sing pretty are telling you, hey, look at this, follow this because I follow this, and you're that easily misled. Like, is that what you want to be at the end? Or do you want to be somebody that's strong, that's really intelligent, that's literally someone that can literally think for themselves, or to say, okay, you know what, this doesn't sound right. You could be wrong. It's okay with being wrong, but don't just be
a sheep,
or somebody that's just, okay.
Or a consumer.
A consumer, yeah. Because that's another one of their tools, consumption.
Yeah.
You know, all the stuff that we don't need.
And it's okay to buy products, but to make your paycheck go towards all of these things. Like, oh, I got to get the newest iPhone every time it comes out.
Because then it becomes your identity.
Yeah, I got to get the newest shoes every time they come out. I got to get the newest clothes every time they come out. I got to get the newest car every time it comes out. I got to get the newest laptop every time it comes out. You are feeding the beast that keeps you sick and keeps you in line and keeps you in the chains. That's all we're saying. Now, if you got the money to do that and you're still awake, man, shit, let me know what you're doing, because I could do that.
Yeah.
But
even that, though, it's still part of the matrix. You're still working, you're allowing it to work you rather than you working it. You know, because it's like, once you wake up and once you really see it, right? If you're ignorant to it, then it's not your fault. But if you know better than it is, then you're contributing and you're part of it. And there's no getting out of that. Like God's, you know, if you believe in God or a higher power, you're gonna be judged over that. You know.
Well, for me, it's okay. So I love capitalism. I think it's the best form of governance, self-governance that we've had. And I don't have I haven't heard another idea that's better than it. Now, obviously, in the States, we've lost capitalism, but at the inside of the nut of capitalism, it's I create a good that you like. You can either buy it or not.
Yeah.
And by you buying it, you're helping me survive.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have the opportunity to create something that I need. So if it's good, I'll buy it. But if it's not good, I'll buy it from your buddy over here or this person over here. And that creates competition, healthy, because, now you're innovating. Now you're saying, oh shit, man, homo over there has been selling more. I need to up my game.
Right.
Now, obviously, it can get corrupted as you make more and more money, but this has been the only way where it keeps corruption out of each individual seller, because in all other societies, when you sold what you made, you had to give that to the king.
Mm-hmm.
You were taxed 70% of it, or the Robin Hood, the tax collectors.
Yeah.
He come ask for his, and then he's like, I need a little more today, or the mafia, I need a little more, or the cartels, I need a little bit more today. That's not free, that's not freedom.
Yeah. You're not free. No.
Yeah, and if you're not a builder or a maker, like these other capitalists are, guess what? When these capitalists start doing well, their company gets bigger. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey, dude, I know you don't make things, but you're really good at talking to people. Come work for me and help me sell more.
You help those around you. You create jobs.
You start to create a community around you. Yeah. And if we can get back to that core identity of what capitalism is, because we're not living in anymore, because we've let the corruption overwhelm us, because we're not paying attention, because they made us fat, dumb, and stupid, and gay, and weak.
Does that not, again, raise those little flags? Why? Why do they want us like that?
Why is it toxic masculinity? Why is it a push for full feminism? Why is it a push for all these things that really take out the men that are supposed to protect and, guide?
It's taking the beauty out of the beautiful, man.
And that's not to say women have no place, because that's just, you're attacking the cheap part of the argument.
Yeah. Emotional.
Right. Women are meant to be with the man to make these beautiful strides to progression and a beautiful home, a beautiful community, a beautiful existence where everyone has a part in the system. But
because a man could be great, but there is such thing that a woman can make a man greater.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the vice versa. A woman could be great, but a man has the ability to make her even better. Maybe something she was missing, maybe a thought she was missing, or a way of processing things, a way of doing, X, Y, and Z, whatever. Man comes in and shows a different perspective. You amplify that. Oh, and vice versa. I mean, I think that's, and I think they want to attack on it. That's another weapon. They want the traditional family values to disappear, because then that makes people great. And I think that goes again to being fat, dumb, and what?
Gay.
Because we can't function the same. Then we focus on one thing more than the other, and then we're unbalanced.
And this show is meant to connect all the dots of the conspiracies. Because if there's a conspiracy to make you fat by the food that we eat, to make you sick by the medicines that are meant to counteract the food that we eat, dumb by the entertainment that we watch,
or the education that
we're given, it keeps us in the pen. It keeps us in the corral of money, where only the people at the top benefit, because that's why we've seen the greatest change in money, from the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, because their whole deep state ideas are working, because we're letting it. We're being lazy. We're not being men anymore. We're not telling our wives or our friends or our groups like, hey man, wake up. Yeah. Quit doing what you're doing. Like you're not being capable to lead your household, because you're over here on your phone fucking 8 hours a day.
What we're doing, or what's happening, is we're satisfying comfort. And we're forgetting that outside of the comfort zone is growth. And being uncomfortable, being in situations of discomfort, but what's another one? You're uneasy, you grow. You actually harden up, you know? And I think that's what we're going back to consumption does, You think that, if I get this, I'll be happy. If I eat this, I'll be happy. Yeah, I might be gaining a couple of weights, but I'm happy. A couple of pounds, but I'm happy.
But you're really not, because those foods create anxiety. Those foods create heart problems. Those foods create diabetes and Alzheimer's, and the sugar going to the brain.
And it's a vicious cycle, because then you come right back to that sugar. I'm uncomfortable. I'm unhappy. This what makes me happy. But instead, you're just feeding
drug,
feeding that beast again.
And we're trying to connect all these dots. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect at doing what I do. I still got Papa Belly here. I still fall off, but at least I'm aware and I'm asking questions. And that should always be at least the bare minimum.
And I think trying to change, trying to improve, trying to say, okay, I eat 5 pieces of candy, now I'm going to eat 3.
Yeah, no, it's trying.
This is a start, because it's that's a weapon against the weapon, right? You start to improve yourself little by little, then you start going against the narrative that they want, the narrative that they give, and the population that they prefer. And they don't like that.
They don't like that. They believe in depopulation. Look it up on the WEF. They want less of us because they feel like we're taking more resources. But who gives them the right to dictate that? They're not God. They are not the gods. They are not chosen by us. But yet, y'all fall right in line and point the fingers at us and make us the enemies, when I'm trying to tell you, I'm not your enemy. I'm the homie. We need to be pointing at them.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to be just all doom and gloom, right?
No, for sure not.
Because I do feel like there is a bright future, and there's a lot to look forward to, and the world is always changing. Leaders come and go, but if we can just find ourselves a little bit more peace within ourselves and with our little communities, I think that's just the start of what can be something more beautiful, especially for the children, because I think that's where it needs to start.
So for my closing statement, I would like to encourage everyone to push to be better, even if it's baby steps, whatever it takes. Look for the truth. It can be a little heavy, but it's still freeing. And I think, opening up your mind and opening up your heart to other people's beliefs, or at least just to hear them out, can go a long way.
And I'd like to go with the politics ending to this, is that political leaders are there because of us. It's not fair that Nancy Pelosi, Dan Crenshaw, Republican, Democrats are getting rich off of trading stocks when they're getting the information at the highest levels. We need to start to realize we need leaders that are willing to change the status quo of Washington, D.C. And we all need to remember that the corruption is on both sides. It's not just the Democrats and it's not just the Republicans. It's both parties. And there are good guys on each side that are actually trying their best. They might be misguided, or we just might not agree with their policy. But there are people that are there good, but I think it's mostly bad. But at the end of the day, if we believe in each other, I think we're going to be all right. So thank you for joining us with another episode, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.